What's that? Oh, dude, it's obviously a ghost of Notch's dead brother who's hidden in the code of Minecraft that he needs to constantly battle and take out with every update. Like, duh, dude, what are you, f***ing stupid? What? It's the year 2010 and you're a games player. You play the Call of Duty, you play the Marios, you play the Flash games. You thought you were the tippity-top, knew about ding-dang everything there was to know about video games in the 2010s. But then your little buddy comes up and he says, have you played this new game? It's called Minecraft, it's a sandbox game. And you say, oh, what's it about?
It's about nothing.
No story?
No, forget the story.
You gotta have a story.
Who says you gotta have a story?
So your friend pulls out his way too big, way too loud, gets really hot very fast, will probably explode gaming laptop, and loads up some Minecraft. And instantly, your autism-riddled brain makes a connection. This is the best game ever. Whether you're digging, you're mining, you're building, you're fighting, everything about this game is great. So obviously, the only natural thing to do is get way too invested in it and spend all your time of your childhood playing it. And of course, the first thing you gotta do is dive right into that community. And you gotta remember, these are the 2010s, man. This was the age of the creepypasta, bro. We thought this was an engaging character. We thought this, look at all the character in that one picture. Obviously, there was like a knife involved or something. Like he cut his mouth with it or whatever. There was a good majority of kids that believed that Squidward's suicide was a historical event. Squidward's suicide was as real and historical as the signing of the Declaration of Independence to these kids. So you know, when they saw this image, you know their neurons were firing. They were trying to think, what could the story be of this beglow-eyed figure? What tale does he have to tell? So really it was like the perfect time for a bunch of bullshit to happen. People wanted to believe this stuff, you know? It was, now the game was cooler because there was a spooky creepypasta guy in the game. Looking back at me was another character with the default skin, but his eyes were empty. I saw no name pop up, and I double-checked to make sure I wasn't in multiplayer mode. He looked at me quickly and then ran into the fog. I pursued out of curiosity, but he was gone. Isn't that just dripping? Just drip, drip, drip with 2010s creepypasta energy. Some frickin' Sonic.exe, Godzilla.exe, frickin' same energy as Suicide Squidward, frickin' Ben Drowned. It's so creepypasta, my dude. As I explored the world, I saw things that seemed out of place for the random map generator to make. Odd 2x2 tunnels in the rocks, small pyramids made of sand in the oceans, groves of trees with all their leaves cut off. I would constantly think that I saw the other player deep in the fog. Just say his eyes started bleeding, hyper-realistic blood, and it'd be like, wow, this is just a lost episode creepypasta. And this all came from some rando on a 4chan board. We don't even know who he is. And that's really the most interesting thing to me. But for some reason, people really focus on like the Copeland stream or like the Brocraft streams and stuff like that. It's like, they didn't even create him. The creation happened on 4chan. They took it from that fucking random guy. Like, they made some fake streams, whoop-de-doo. The only reason anyone cares about it is because they can't find it. The paradoxical tragedy of lost media. No one actually cares until it's gone. It also doesn't help that ghostinthestream.net/him thing is literally just a stolen creepypasta. But forget that. Back to the random 4chan guy. He solidified the lore of Herobrine. He is the creator, the genesis of Herobrine. And Herobrine is Notch's brother, I guess, which is strange given how much Minecraft has embraced Herobrine. Like, at this point, he basically is Notch's real brother. Like, thousands of years from now, historians are gonna be like, yeah, the creator of Minecraft, Notch, had a brother who died. And I really think the reason people gloss over the 4chan post so quickly is because they can't find the author. If they could, then they would just interview them, and like, that would be the whole video, but because they can't find him, they have to like focus on this other stuff that happened. But even given all that, this would be nothing. It'd be a bunch of garbage that no one cared about if it wasn't for what happened next. Much like the Great Chicago Fire, which started with a humble bovine knocking over a lantern, so too was Herobrine made infamous by a simple patch notes. It set the community on fire. And this was before game companies really talked to their audience So people were kind of just stuck sitting there going, maybe Herobrine is real. And this even had the skeptical people raising their eyebrow, because this is coming straight from the game devs. Like, now it's kind of an uphill battle to disprove Herobrine's existence. And I don't really know if that was their intention. Maybe they forgot the cardinal rule, which is don't joke with your audience that's children because they won't understand it. So these kids really just took it as a confirmation of his existence. Like, yeah, Notch said that Herobrine wasn't real on Twitter, but like most people at that time are like, what's a Twitter? And as it usually goes, a bunch of unscrupulous folks come out the woodwork and say, hey, I could use this to get a bunch of views. I'll just scare these kids. I'll just fake stream clips and scare these stupid children for some easy cash. And why wouldn't you do it? Kids still are believing it. And hey, the exploitation of children is big business, and it's always been a major part of Minecraft. But the reason I think this is the best hoax in gaming history is because people want to believe this thing. Kids specifically. It's like frickin' Santa or something. Who is totally real, by the way. It also helped massively that the time the story came out was like super copacetic to creepypasta-esque video game stories. Like, when people talk about Herobrine, they weirdly divorce him from the world that was happening in the 2010s. And they'll say, oh, the reason that Herobrine caught on was because Minecraft was such a mysterious game at the time. It's like, no. Literally everything in the internet culture of that time is what allowed Herobrine to be successful. Like, I guarantee you, if Slenderman didn't get popular, neither would have Herobrine. And a big similarity between the two of them, they both started out as short stories posted on forums. And that's just another dead thing too, like forum culture. Like, that doesn't even exist anymore. And don't bring up Reddit, because even people who use Reddit hate Reddit. And just like Slenderman, the lines have kind of began to blur when it comes to Herobrine. He's kind of been elevated to the status of a urban legend. Granted, not to the level of Slenderman, like you don't see kids going out and stabbing their friends over Herobrine. But you can't really uncouple Minecraft and Herobrine. And the marketing people know this. Why do you think he shows up in all those images? Herobrine has become so instantiated in the annals of Minecraft. And he's never even actually been in the game. I say that now, but just give it like 2 years and I guarantee Microsoft's gonna get desperate and they're gonna put him in a new update. What inspired you to put Herobrine in Minecraft?
Money!
To have like the freaking Herobrine boss fight. And they'd be very smart to do it. Herobrine's incredibly nostalgic. Like, they didn't have the line Herobrine removed in some random changelog in 2020 and people got legitimately mad. Much like a wraith feeds off of negative emotions, Herobrine feeds off of nostalgia. He's just so iconic and lovable. Aptly put by this random commenter on a Herobrine sighting video. I love how back then we were absolutely scared of him, but now we treat him like an old friend. It's been eating away at me. I gotta check something. Oh no, nobody's safe. Oh my god.